Hi guys, welcome to Yahweh University, where I talk about how God is doing a continued work in me to free me. He's giving me revelation and wisdom and allowing me to experience God in a real way in real life. Sorry y'all, because I feel like my camera a little shaky, but I just wanted to give y'all a background on the prayer that I said this morning, because I was weary, y'all, last night. Like, I was really weary, and I want to be able to share like my journey and, just being like fully transparent on the things that I go through. Now, watching that prayer, you wouldn't think that, how can I say it? I wouldn't say you wouldn't think, you just don't know like what's behind that prayer. So, in my afternoon life, when I get off work from working my 8 to 5, I literally go to the daycare to pick my kids up. Then I'm home. If my husband hasn't already cooked dinner, then I'm responsible for cooking dinner. I'm responsible for doing homework with the kids. Bath time. I give them a time or a break to, just kind of like woo-sah before we get to do homework. And by the time we get done doing all that, it's 8:30. And some days I can manage and it's not that bad, but some days it is bad. And those are the days that I really be weary. I really don't want to do homework. I don't want to cook dinner. I don't want to do like nothing but just sit and relax. You know what I'm saying? And it took me a while to even get into the place where God, literally did like a work on me to get in the place to where I could feel like I could even do homework with my kids. So that's been a journey within itself. But y'all, it's a lot. It's like I hit the ground running in the morning, and then in the evening time I'm still running until like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And then now lately, with Jace being 2, we moved his bed upstairs, I want to say maybe about a week and a half ago. And he is still sleeping with us, which we kind of expected. But honestly, with my other 3 children, I feel like I didn't necessarily have to like physically put them to sleep. I could turn the TV on, leave out of the room, maybe go in within an hour or 30 minutes or whatever, and then they would literally be asleep. But I don't know if it's because and me just being transparent. It's like because I've, birthed and is raising 4 kids, I'm like, Lord, am I getting tired? Because of the simple fact that I feel like I've already done this so many times. And, I actually even take like a brief moment to even think about, okay, Lord, like, with me and my husband, when we first met, I had 3 kids. We talked about more kids, and I told my husband that, having another one, cool, because I always wanted to give my actual husband, a child. But, now we've been skating around having another child, not necessarily right now, but like in the future. And I don't know if it's just something that the Lord literally has to continue to grow my heart with. But I feel like I'm in my wit's end. Like I'm already, like I kind of want to be finished with, like starting from a baby and, raising them up, to be adults. You know what I'm saying? Like, of course, my other children, they're here for a lifetime. So you never will be done raising your kids. But in the same instance and at the same time, like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm still, even with me having a 13-year-old, I feel like I'm still trying to figure it out, because of course the more children that you have, the more you have to reinvent the wheel, the more you have to, figure out what works for you. And of course with my husband, being gone in the evening time, because he's away at the gym, and then he's also a football coach. So like 2 days out of the week, he's coaching football. The other 2 days he's at the gym, and then on Friday typically we're all at home together. And there was even a time where I would take time, like if he had 2 days, then I would have 2 days away from the home in the evening. But the only like kickback with that I noticed is that a lot of things around the house wouldn't get done. You know what I'm saying? And it just wasn't the same quality as me being a mom, being able to be like, okay, well, I know if I come home at 8 o'clock today, and then maybe tomorrow that everything will need to be done. And not discrediting my husband, because he does a great job. He takes care of them. He does what he needs to do. But there's just a certain way and manner in which moms tend to do things. We think about the things before they even happen. So with me being absent and me being not present, even for a couple of hours in the evening, it can kind of set my schedule back. So I'm literally still trying to figure out how to reinvent the wheel. And typically right now with my evening schedule, I'm just got off work and now I'm headed to the daycare, so I said I could record a video while I'm on my way to the daycare. But my evening, again, it's pretty consumed. When we come home, I pretty much give the kids 30 minutes to just kind of woosah. We all need a woosah. I need to change my clothes. I need to just sit down for a minute and think about what it is that I'm about to do in the house. What all do I need to do? So every day I pretty much have a running list of homework. All right, let me fix the plates. And when I'm done with that, putting them in the bathtub. And then I'm like, okay, now it's time to wind down. And, even with my walk with God, I'll never forget this time I came across a post where this mom was pretty much explaining, how being a mom is basically ministry. And, when we are doing the dishes, when we're tending to the kids, when we're doing the laundry, we are worshiping with God, and we are doing what God has called us to do, because I would get so frustrated sometimes. I'm like, okay, Lord, how am I supposed to spend time with you? On any given perfect day for me, it's me getting the kids, out the way, in a sense, making sure that they're well, and then me going to, read my Bible for, typically if I'm gonna read and I'm gonna do some in-depth study, it's gonna be at least for an hour. You know what I'm saying? And not every single day do I get to find that intimate hour to spend with God. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, that's what I do as soon as I get to work, because the season of me not being able to sit down at home has really been real. So I want to say not even maybe I want to say maybe for a solid 6 months now. If I get to work, my work is busy, but I have some flexible time to where that first 30 minutes, I give that first 30 minutes to God. I'm trying to either read the little daily devotional that they have on the app, or I'm strictly going off of what I studied the previous day, or if I have a specific topic that I'm trying to study and learn on. I literally spend that first 30 minutes, just soaking myself in the word. And you never know how beneficial it is to read the Bible until you start a daily habit of it. So today I actually wanted to come and discuss even more in depth how God continues to use the Bible as a physical manifestation of himself. So of course, I was weary last night, and me being transparent, I haven't really been able to get in the mood to be physically intimate with my husband. And part of me is wanting to say, because it's so much that I have to do in the evening time that, you know, I'm literally not in the mental mind state to do anything. And, you know, I think about, you know, from the last time we've been like physically intimate to, you know, like trying to like set the mood or whatever the case may be, it just like something is not clicking with us. And, you know, it really hurts my heart because like last night, you know, I really wanted to, you know, be intimate with my husband, but at the same time, the 2-year-old, he wasn't asleep, and like I just got so weary, and I was just like, I can't do it. Like, you know, having a fight with a child to go to sleep, or in a lot of cases for me, because, you know, me and my husband's day is full, it's like whoever puts the baby to sleep, you know, they typically tend to go to sleep trying to put him to sleep. Or it's been times where I'll be putting him to sleep or whatever, and it takes almost like an hour, and then at the end of that hour he's still not asleep. So then I'm just like, I just can't. So, you know, a lot of times that's just a mood killer in general. So like last night, I just started crying because I was like, Lord, you know, like I can't. Like, I know I'm not in a relaxed state. Like, you know, I want to, but I can't even think about it. Like, it's so much involved in trying to even be physically intimate with your partner. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you're missing all the checks to get to that point. And yeah, that's what's been going on. And man, like, it's just been rough. And what's so crazy is that there is a person that's on my Facebook. She sent me a message last night, and you know how people send you just, you know, like the little Instagram reels or whatever, and I just thought it was random, so I literally didn't click on it, didn't do anything. And y'all, this is why I think I had just got done crying or whatever. And, you know, I'm just like, yo, like, I end up putting him to sleep or whatever. And, you know, now it's to the point where I put him to sleep, but I can't put him upstairs because then he's going to walk back downstairs and get into bed with us. So lately I've been laying the baby, well, not the baby, because he too, laying him, you know, on the couch in the living room or whatever. So if he wakes up, then he can just come crawling to bed with us or whatever. But honestly, since I've been putting him on the couch, because I need comfortable space to sleep and my husband needs comfortable space to sleep, he hasn't been waking up in the middle of the night. So it's just kind of like a temporary, like not in our room type space. So it's kind of like we're slowly weaning him out of our room, even if it's just in the living room right now. So she sent me the post or whatever, and I didn't look at it because I'm just like, yo, like, this is probably something random. I'm feeling like crap right now. And literally, you know, I wake up, I spend time with God in prayer, and I'm like, okay, Lord, what can I tell the people today? And then he's just like, pray the prayer that, pray how you feel right now. And I'm like, okay, I can share that. I can be cool, and I can share that, and I can pray for other mothers as well, you know, like feeling like me. So then, I get to work. Well, I'm trying to think. I don't even know if I open up the message. I end up doing the prayer. I post a prayer or whatever to my Facebook and to my YouTube, and then I look at the message. And when I look at the message, it literally was like a reel. It was like somebody created a song, you know, about, you know, how, you know, like you're a great mom, you're doing a good job, you know, the kids, they love you, they see the best in you. And I was just like, oh my God, like God was literally trying to meet me in this spot where I was last night. But just because I was just so down and out, I didn't even click on it to get that encouragement. But what it even sparked my faith even more this morning to know that God was literally chasing after me last night and wanted to impart, you know, a piece of joy or just some inspiration, you know. And the Lord moves, you know, a lot of people say in mysterious ways, but his spirit moves. So, you know, maybe that person thought about me, or maybe, you know, that, you know, the person that sent it to me, God, I would just say it like this, God moves, okay? And he will use anybody that can get the message to you. So that's exactly what happened. He didn't want me to be weary. He wanted me to see that he saw me last night. And then what's even more miraculous is that I even got scripture for, you know, the emotions that I literally was facing last night. Because of course, you know, me feeling bad one day, it don't necessarily just go away. But as a parent, you know that you have your moment and you just get up the next day and you just try again. So like with how can I say it, with I'm sorry y'all, I lost my train of thought because somebody calling me, but I'm gonna call him back. But
phone call completed.
Just with how I was feeling or whatever, like I was reading some scriptures yesterday, but I didn't finish reading the scriptures. So then because I was studying, and sometimes when I study in the Strong Concordance, it has multiple Bible verses or whatever that, you know, you can study for the one word that the Bible gives. So just so happened the next chapter in the Bible happened to be Job 7. So when I read it this morning, you know, I'm like, okay, like, wow, this is the Lord speaking to me. And I'm not going to read the whole thing, but literally what the verse is saying for Job 7, and this is the NLT version. Of course, y'all know that the KJV, or if you don't know, the KJV version is the standard, like the standard version, English version that the Bible was written in. But for study purposes, to make it easier for you to kind of like digest scripture or whatever, I read the NLT sometimes. So with the NLT, literally Job 7 verse 1 starts off like this: "Is not all human life a struggle? Our lives are like that of a hired hand, like a worker who longs for shade, like a servant waiting to be paid." You know, and what does that sound like? So then it goes on to verse 2, like a worker who longs for, oh, I already read that verse, I'm sorry. 3 was, "I too have been assigned months of futility, long and weary nights of misery. Lying in bed, I think, when will it be morning? But the night drags on and I toss till dawn." And I'm like, oh my God, like, God, that's how I felt last night. Like, I was feeling weary. The word today, you know, on how I felt today was weary. So instantly when I read that scripture, I was just like, oh my God, like, that's God meeting me right there where I am. And, you know, I just wanted to come and share this message that when you crack that Bible open, or even try, you know, when you give God the chance to comfort you, he will. And I also want to add a big important piece to this, you guys, because this is also what started to really make me cry, because, you know, God is working on me, even with the things that I do or the things that I try to go to, you know, when I know that I should be going to him. So last night before I went to bed, you know, I made myself some food or whatever, and I was just like, okay, like, I'm trying to, you know, kind of get in the mood with my husband or whatever. So, you know, I knew that my mind was not in the mood. So, you know, to get in the mood, to do even anything to get in the mood. So I'm like, okay, well, let me just, you know, add some alcohol to my drink. So I made me a lemonade and I poured me some some tequila in it, okay? And I was like, okay, well, if I just drink this tequila or whatever, hopefully that'll like kind of relax my body and get me in the mood, you know, to enjoy my husband. That's what God, you know, made marriage for us to enjoy each other. And I literally started crying because I was like, I know that is not the answer, you guys. And literally I ate my food and I started to drink it. And when I say maybe, I took maybe 2 sips of it. And like, I was like, no, I was like, God do not want me to do this. You know, this is not where it's at. And one of the things that I'm struggling with right now is like, I want God to answer what it's like to have godly sex. And this is just me being frank. I want to say over the last maybe 3 to 4 weeks, God delivered me from a spirit spouse. We can go into that if you all are interested in that, which I'm pretty sure I come out with a video about, me being delivered from a spirit spouse. But that was because I've had premarital sex. I was promiscuous. So there's a lot of things that go into when you have premarital sex outside of marriage, and there's a lot of spiritual implications that happen. So the things that I'm actually experiencing right now are literally because I had sex outside of marriage. So it's really, honestly, like God is, I wouldn't say that he's present. He's definitely present with me, but I know that I'm actually on a journey on how to learn to have healthy sex and not perverted sex. And if that makes sense, because I would say perverted sex is when, you need to drink, you need to smoke, to get in the mood. And when I think back to my previous life, before me being married, before me giving my life back to Christ, a lot of times of how I even, came to have sex was because I was always high. People tell you, oh, sex is better when you high. But yeah, what happens when you give your life to Christ and you no longer can smoke? What happens when you give your life to Christ and you can no longer drink to get the desired result that you have? What are you left with? Now I'm left with that. And, God is slowly on a journey with me on how to literally, have a healthy sex life. And more so, I have a healthy sex life because I'm married and things like that, but like mentally having healthy sex, like I want to experience what godly sex is like. So it was just a lot to that, but I just kind of wanted to share that, just because I don't know, I feel like God is having me to be consistent with my posting, having to be consistent about my journey and sharing things, because somebody else is going through this. Either you can learn some things from me or I can learn some things from you. So just comment, like, subscribe to the channel, because I am literally unpacking my life on this channel, because I have a hair channel, but God has called me to separate those channels so that he can do the work that he wants me to do. But if you want to continue on this journey with me and become my friend, become my internet bestie, hit the subscribe button. But y'all, I just wanted to share that. And yeah, I'll see y'all tomorrow. Bye.